Hello everyone, my name is Jen and I'm getting ready for a CFA show uh, down here in Florida. And so tonight I had to bathe my Turkish Angora. She is a double champion, champion in CFA and Tika. So today we have to do her bath and I do blow dry. A lot of people with cats don't always blow dry. I feel that I get a much better product at the end. Their hair is shinier, silkier, less matting, because it does take a while to dry, and they can get clumpy. So I do blow dry. A lot of people ask, how do you blow dry a cat? So I'm making this video so you can see how I blow dry her. And she started being blow dried pretty much right out the gate for shows. And she didn't like it. She still is a little bit not happy when she gets blow dried. But I feel that this method is the best to get what I want. She's calmer, and I feel that does a lot better for grooming. So I'm just going to kind of walk you through what I do. I have a soft-sided carrier. I bought this at Marshall's. I love this thing. You can put it on the airplane. She came down with it when I picked her up from the breeder. So I use a soft-sided carrier. The only time she's in here is if we are grooming. So other than when she got picked up, she doesn't go in here unless it's time for grooming. So she kind of knows what it does. I like this because it's got all these mesh sides. So you've got the mesh here all over. And it's also got mesh on the back and on the top. So I love this because I can blow dry her in this carrier with my blow dryer. And I'll show you what I have. It is a, let's see, Schernbau. Got it off Amazon, $50. I like it because it's got a variable speed on here, so the sound you can adjust. I use this about every 4 to 6 weeks because I do have a standard poodle. Hi, Blossom. And so she gets groomed. She's in here because she really loves my cat, and my cat loves her, so it also helps keep her calm and gets her used to the blowing noise. So let's go ahead and start. I'm going to stop the video so I can just keep going, but I'm going to show you how I started and what she acts like, and then we'll pick it up when she's actually pretty calm and pretty much done, so you can see the difference. So as you can see on her hair, she's had her bath, and I've towel dried her as much as I possibly could. That helps keep them drier longer. Anyone who has a poodle knows you want them as dry as possible before blow drying, because it makes it go faster. Turkish Angoras have a really long, fluffy tail. So one of my goals is to make sure that it stays nice and fluffy. It's a real showstopper when it's all nice and full, and it's hard to do that if you just let them air dry. So, all right, let's get started. So I usually start out on the lowest setting, and I have this kind of straighter nozzle. It directs the flow. So I turn it on, and as you can hear, it's not very loud. So not very loud. It's got really good pressure. And as you can see, she's used to this by now. She's not freaking out. When she first started, she was all over the carrier. Again, why I use a soft-sided. Because one, she can't hurt herself, and I can't hurt her. So this is not hurting her. It's just air. It does have a heat function on it, so it's warm air. As you can see, she's pretty much used to it by now. So she's just kind of come to terms that she's going to get blow dried. Turkish Angoras are not known for their patience, so I do not take her out to try and dry her. I know people who have Persians can blow dry them just sitting on a counter. You can't really do that with a Turk. They don't hold still, and I'm not going to get scratched and beat up for it when I can just do this. So I'm going to go ahead, and you can see she's perfectly fine. I'm going to turn it up. Just kind of get her started. And pretty much I blow what she's showing me. So I'm not reaching in there to try and get to certain areas. I can move it around to the top. Again, why I love this thing. And I'm using my wrong hand here. I normally use right-handed. And just fast and quick. want to make sure I get that tail. And she's showing me her side here. So the other thing about this soft-sided carrier, which I love, is that it holds the hair. So this is a long-haired cat. And so that hair, when it comes out, it just goes everywhere if you were to blow dry it normally. When you're using this carrier, it stays in the carrier so I don't have hair blowing all around the house in my room. So I'm going to go ahead and pause it. I'm going to get her mostly dry, and then we'll touch back and see what she looks like. Okay, so I've turned up the air a little bit higher, as you can hear. And in order to get her belly, which can get really wet, you can see she's already getting really dry really quick, I try to get her so she's sitting like this, and I get up underneath her. And what this does is it gets her feet, her back feet, and it also works on her tail, which again is one of the more important parts, and her ruff, which I don't go to her face. She doesn't like that, and she doesn't really need to have her face blow dried. She can air dry that, and I don't want to stress her out any more than I already do. So as you can see, she really doesn't seem to mind it that much. She moves around, and that's why I love this carrier, because I can collapse it, as you see here, so I can get closer to her. She's got a hole in it, that's another reason. And I don't leave her in here all day. She only comes in here when it's time to blow dry. There we go, get some of that tail. And if you see her face, she's not happy, but she's not freaking out. Again, this took, several blow dries for her to get used to things. I don't have it on full blast. And she's also got her best friend here, which is the poodle, to kind of help keep her calm and not freak out. Alright, so then a little bit longer, you can see how fluffy her tail's getting really nice and dry. Her feet look nice and dry. She's probably still a little bit damp here and there, but for the most part, she's been fully blown out. And as you can see, she's still not happy. She's got a little bit of a ruff there. Try to work on that. Again, I try not to do her face, but she doesn't mind the ruff. I've already clipped her claws. I highly recommend that before the bath. They'll let you know if you forget. And look at that tail, nice and fluffy on her tail. She's pretty much all done. Trying to get a good angle there. I know, baby girl. Okay, so I'm done with the dryer. I will take her out, get her a nice comb out, and do a little bit of brushing, and then she's done. I won't brush her again till tomorrow, and of course all throughout the show, to keep that coat nice and silky, straight. As you can see, she doesn't really care too much. She doesn't want to be in here, but she's not freaking out. She's not trying to bite. She's not meowing or screaming. So that's how I blow dry my cat, and seems to be working well for me. So for those of you who do show or need to use the dryer for your cats, this is a really good method, and I highly recommend it. Thank you guys for listening, and wish us luck on our show.